Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer II, The Twisted and the Twilight, where I was just doing a little bit of investigation on the state of the world here. You can see Reichland has surpassed Karak as the most powerful player, probably largely due to Karak losing units in combat with the Orcs. But the Orcs are still hanging pretty high up there, and unfortunately the Border Princes are military allies with both of them, and also with Couronne at number 5. And they themselves are number 7 when we are number 8. So basically, just like declaring war and trying to rush the Forest of Gloom seems very unlikely. In order to do that, if we were to just declare war on them and take this by force, we would have to hold on to it for probably a pretty large number of turns, right? Obviously, we could dramatically reduce the number of turns we need to hold on to it by clearing the heathlands around it, but that's not entirely trivial, especially since one of them is Karak itself, which of course has walls and a 20-unit garrison. It would be really, really helpful to us if we could get this while the dwarves were still our friends. That said, it's going to be awfully difficult to get the dwarves to break their military alliance, but also we could potentially wait around for something to happen and for them to break it themselves forever without making any progress on that. So I'm not really sure what our plan is. For right now, we're going to keep an eye on what's going on over here while we deal with our other forests, which we do still need to do. I see we're green again with the dwarves. Yeah, man, they're fickle. Fighting the beastmen for the Oak of Ages, and then doing stuff against Chaos definitely helped pull us back positive, which is awfully nice. But we need to be even much more positive, obviously. We're trending toward 38. We still need a proper alliance with Karak, so I'm going to start buying my way into their hearts. Our low reliability is a problem. It just says betrayals are forgotten over time. It doesn't give us any sense of what that time scale looks like. So hard to know. He is now aggressive and unreliable, which I believe most of the AI have gained those traits now that the battle with Chaos is over. You know what? For right now, let's just see what happens. Let's see how people turn on each other. We're gonna keep our eyes on our own paper for the moment, so to speak. So let's get you guys moving down toward the wood here, down toward Griffin Wood, and please go around Hawkland. I feel like I shouldn't have to tell my units to go around Hawkland. That should be their default. They should try not to go through territory where you will get yelled at if you go through it, if there's another thing available.
Lord of the Forest.
It's so hard to move near the edge of your movement area when it's also within the banner of a city. Alright, so Dodan's basically given us the information we need. Thalgrat Radher's army is in the middle of a wall right now, which is why they have 2 army bars. So this is actually, it looks like, this says they have 21 of 20, which shouldn't be correct, but maybe this is a 41-unit army. So I have some hope that they're going to make some progress up north here. We're just going to stay nearby and keep an eye on the situation. Falnal, you are there permanently. Solace, just hang out, because I don't want the dwarves mad at me. Varcio, get down here and get ready to help defend the forest. And you... I don't know, man. I guess get down here. There's no sense in leaving you way up in the north, but I don't know what we are going to do with you. And then I'm assuming this is... yeah. There's nothing to upgrade. It's fine. So it's going to be like a couple of turns back to Griffin Wood. When we're 1 turn out, I'll hit the button. We might be able to grab some massing armies on the way into the wood proper. And all of our other forests are developing. It's just a matter of time. If we get notifications about rising threats, I'll happily run over and stomp them. Oh, and there's lots of Lizard Man on Dark Elf action down here in this jungle, which is whatever. I don't care about that at all, I don't think. There's nothing for us to do in that conflict. It really is, at this point, for us, all about which agreements the dwarves and the Empire decide to uphold and which ones they betray, and how we can turn the chaos of those betrayals to our advantage. And I guess, potentially, like, some orcs could show up and make my life difficult. Maybe. We gotta keep an eye on that. But now, the orcs are in a position where they can threaten the border princes. Maybe we'll get lucky, and they'll still do the thing we're hoping for. You know what? You guys are friendly with everybody we like, sure. I will pay you 3,000 gold for this pact. You, I will have no dealings with. Everybody hates you. Don't talk to me when they're looking. Slip notes to me under the table if you must. The Sword of Cain was claimed by Yatane, which is, you know, whatever. Who could possibly care about this, I ask you? Where is that Border Prince army? I wish I could, like, covertly feed the orcs military intelligence. I mean, that's technically an army. It has no units in it, but it is technically an army. Can we... Okay, we don't even need to go that way. What am I doing? Okay, so we'll hit the rebirth button at the beginning of next turn. We are close enough. Solace, just make sure you're keeping an eye on these guys. They're following us around with this agent like they're going to try to wound us, and then they just never actually go through with it. I wonder why. I wonder if it's a monetary thing, or if they're having some other kind of problem. Because it sure seems like they should just go after me, right? Alright, how are things going in the other woods? We're up to 67, plus 3 per turn here. I mean, we gotta be headed in the right direction down here. Yeah, also in the 60s. Sadly, this is my least favorite part of being behind, is having to wait to see what the powerful players will do. Realistically, I suppose, we only need either the Empire or the Dwarves to break their alliance with the Border Princes, and then we try to work the Dwarves and the Empire against each other. Because if we got them to declare on each other somehow, maybe through a military alliance, which I guess we should be checking in with Reichland to see if we can secure, then that would at least give them something to focus on that isn't me if the war breaks out. Man, everybody wants these really expensive non-aggression packs. Here's the thing, I don't actually care about this. Get out of here. Get out of here with that noise. Okay, it's happening. They're doing stuff. Although I wish he had taken that. I'd feel much more comfortable about the idea that he was going to continue moving north if he had claimed that instead of burning it. He probably will not go north enough, because he's probably worried about, like, dwarves to his west and stuff. Alright. Let's go up here and hit this before I forget, and I will forget. So unlock the construction of... Yeah, this one's not very good. Alright, our enemies, they're mustering. One here. Yes, I know where the Griffinwood is. I just pressed the button on it. Okay, so...
You have orders?
Let's have Orion run hard for this one.
The hunt calls.
And then Drycha can grab that one. Oh, actually, Orion just picks it up as he moves through. That's cool. I'll take that. Let's take the replenishment, man. The auto-resolver, we have had to play far fewer battles this campaign than usual. Because the auto-resolver seems to just really love our army compositions. It's giving us very favorable auto-resolves. I'm not used to being allowed to take it this easy. But, like, look at this. Part of it is that these are terrible army compositions. Treemen and dragons and stuff are cool, But we all know what's going to happen if I do this manually. We're going to chop these things down one by one with arrows, and then... Huh. Why would turning on Lightning Strike make this battle more red? It's going to give them all a leadership penalty. Who knows? Who knows what's going on in the AI's brain?
I am called forth.
Usually don't get to initiate battles while in march mode, and what you just saw there is why. Alright, so Drycha should be able to handle that. And we are accumulating skill points quickly. Yeah, I'm not sure where the line is in terms of entertainment value between, like, auto-resolving too many battles versus playing battles that are functionally the same over and over again too many times. It's a tough one. Oh, right, multiple skill points. That makes sense. Did you gain 2? You did gain 2. Well, get this and finish that. Alright, so the Griffinwood will be clear, like, pretty much immediately. Let's go see if Doc Karaz is actually... Ah, never mind, Doc Karaz. There's an army right here. It's only 19 units, but some of those units are ghosts. This is a weird thing with one of the dwarf factions, where they have a bunch of ghost heroes. I'm glad that we don't have to deal with that. So we're going to have to deal with this pretty soon. We have the deep roots available.
I go.
Do I want to use them? What would we use them for? I mean, we could send the sisters somewhere. I suppose we could send the sisters over to this spot, right? Because right now we don't have an army that's capable of defending here. But this isn't really where we want them to be, and whoever's over here is going to be here for a long time. So maybe... I mean, the sisters really need to be near the Forest of Gloom, right? That's... We don't need them to be in the Forest of Gloom, necessarily. And maybe what I should do here is... like, have Drycha clean this up and then teleport over to the southwest. I think that's what we'll do with our cooldown. Drycha we can afford to have sort of, like, out of the line of fire for a while. Outside of the action. You know what? I'm going to run Varcio down here. We're going to actually just put a hero in the Forest of Gloom, I think. So that we can do harassment. The thing is, we don't even really want to take any actions against the border princes in the Forest of Gloom to try to, like, bait them into hating me or wanting to fight me until the military alliance is broken. Because first of all, right now, what do you want? You know what? A non-aggression pact from you might be a real good idea, but it also might upset people nearby. I don't think you'll attack me. And I think if you do attack me, I will teleport in such a murder stack you will have no idea what happened. I wonder what the AI is thinking. Like, why are they moving their armies the way they're moving their armies? What can we, like, read from that? Wow, did Grombrindle just win that fight? That was like 35 units of orcs. I was assuming they were going to try to, like, do a 2-army play, and okay. Well, that's bad for us. It's bad for us unless we can pull these people out. The Sisters of Twilight had their ambush foiled, which is weird because there shouldn't be anyone around them. And there isn't. I guess those guys saw through it.
Show me a foe. Show patience, sister.
Alright, you just get over here for right now. I don't have any idea what I want to do with you. Just get over here. Yeah, I think we're going to see a really embarrassing failure on the Greenskins' part that emanates mostly from them choosing not to move their armies into position to get anything done. In theory, they have a massive army, but Lord only knows where it is. Yep, once again, hitting lightning strikes seems like it will make the battle harder. For some reason. Okay, Drycha is, in fact, a superior attacker. So what on earth was I doing with you? I mean, magic seems good, but you really don't have that many skill points left. So let's see, you have the Mantra of the Fallen. Leadership down for local elf units. That's pretty funny. The Natural Order... Oh, the ability to recruit branch rates anywhere is kind of a cool idea. Passive ability, Frenzy, for cave bats, feral manticores, giant spiders, great hawks, and giant wolves. That actually seems pretty good. And a recruitment cost reduction for units recruited from the Wild Spirits panel, which we do not have access to. I actually really like this. And we have a fair number of those units in this army. Alright, and yeah, I think the plan is next turn we have Drycha go to the Griffin Wood and then teleport to the southwest. And from there, hopefully, we can just have her take care of the situation. Keep the Dark Elves out of our stuff. As well as eventually defend the ritual when it does occur. I have no idea what we're going to do with Orion. I guess he just hangs out over here for right now. It would be a shame if we were to lose this before the ritual completed.
The forest disapproves. Stalking.
Athel Lauren above all.
So I mean, how many turns has it been since we were motivated to do a betrayal? It's a lot, right? I wonder how long it's going to take for that diplomatic penalty to wear off. For our distrustworthiness to be forgotten. Karazakh fallen to strength 4, and the orcs to 7. Oh, and we're trending downward strongly again.
All here are honored dwarf kin.
They mind the treaties with Nagaroth more every turn. It is starting to become an issue. I mean, if we offer them all of our considerable bank, does this affect things at all, or are we still low? Okay, so they're just really not interested.
Not one Druki on Nagaroth.
But we can't break our treaties with Elithanar without crashing our reliability further. I think we're just going to have to fight these dwarves, honestly. Alright, what about you guys? Can we get a military alliance? Would you be willing to make some moves in exchange for a pretty large amount of money?
No.
There should really just be an all of it button. If the dwarves are weakened enough by their fighting with the orcs, then we figure out a way to make this happen. We could attack the Forest of Gloom. We'd have to keep it for quite a while, for several turns while it gains health. But burning down all of the heathlands would certainly help. We would get 10 forest health, thanks to the research we took with the last Amber. We'd get 10 forest health from each burning. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's... I think that's the thing we're going to have to do. So we have to get from maybe that could actually work to yes, we see a way that could definitely work. I don't know how we pull that off. But if we can't move the dwarves, then we got to figure out a way to get the Empire to move with us against the dwarves. Okay, Jufbar was held by the orcs, right? So I think right now this is just the Empire moving against the Greenskins in the place where it makes sense to do so. But then they're going to have an awful lot of armies right next to the dwarves. I hope. If you couldn't tell, I'm not very confident in this plan. And the thing is, the dwarves are everywhere, right? We know that the dwarves could have troops in Athelloren, like, pretty much immediately, the moment that they feel like those troops are needed. So there would be immediate costs. Immediate, severe costs to going to war with the dwarves. It would be an organizational nightmare as well, because it's going to be problems, like, all over the place, in all different parts of the world. Alright, Dreicha, you gotta fall back into the Griffinwood. Yep, that's right. Phrexina of Draw, that's what I'm always saying. Alright, you just get over here and prepare to be the person who has to deal with this noise. Okay. Garrison in the Sacred Pools, make it clear that we are not to be toyed with.
The deep wood. Moving. The deep wood stirs.
They just go to... Okay, they did just go to Qatar. I mean, would you take peace yet? Could we... Okay. It would be neat if we could be cool. Alright, how much does that affect things with the dwarves? At all? Any? Because I know they were pretty mad about me being at war with Tlaqua. Okay, most of that stuff has fallen away, but sadly, so has a lot of the points of value we were getting out of our military actions. Oh, our reliability has risen to medium.
Welcome, friends of the Dowie.
But what if you broke your military alliance with the Border Princes? In exchange for 150,000 gold. Doesn't that sound fun?
No.
Okay, well that's an answer at least. You know, you gotta give them this. Dwarves do not hem and haw. They just go ahead and get right to it. Man, look at the huge amount of territory that the orcs control. They could do so many things with all of this. And yet, nothing. Like, they have access to underway movement. They can burrow under the mountains. It should not be a big deal for them to hit the dwarves from multiple sides, considering they own all of the territory in every direction from most of the dwarven kingdoms. Also, Dark Elves, hi! Those are Dark Elves we're at war with, too. Are the dwarves at war with those guys? Maybe we could make a little bit of favor here by messing with them. We do have a hero right on top of that army already. And now that we're no longer at war with Tlaqua, we don't have to worry about them moving in and burning our woods down. Although I suppose now that I'm not at war with them, they might choose to come in and resettle the heaths, which would not be great. Does anybody care about you? Probably not. I don't see that this is worth the trouble, honestly. The 8,000 trouble. Alright, we're seeing these same events over and over again. This does not matter. We don't have anybody who is in a position to care about either of those outcomes. You are, in fact, at war with the dwarves. Okay, I was thinking, you know, and maybe also we could run an army up here and, like, interfere with them, but no, that's infeasible. That's not going to work at this distance. Alright, you're good. You're just kind of running around over here to keep an eye on the dwarf and orc conflict, although it looks like it's not going to be much of a conflict. And now that we're not at war with... what's-his-face? I don't really care where his army is anymore. I guess go up here and look at these orcs. Maybe I should just roll in and start trying to slaughter orcs for the reputation bonus. The dwarves would like that. Okay, can we... I'm sure the answer is no, but let's ask. Can we military access? No, of course not. And if the dwarves like them, then moving through their territory will just piss off the dwarves even more. They will not be into our trespasses. Can I get military access from you?
If you must, I make no promises as to the outcome.
Because if we could come up through here and start harassing orc stuff this way, that would definitely be helpful. What if I gave you some money? And it's probably going to have to be a pretty large amount of money. Let's try this. Still low. If I double it, how about that? Okay, so they're just not going to give it to us. And we don't have enough movement range, I think, to be able to underway, like, 2 Mount Arachnos. I don't know exactly where the dividing line is. We want to make sure we don't step into the Lost Plateau at all. Okay, so it breaks, like, somewhere over here. You know, maybe. Let's try it. We'll walk up alongside the mountains where there's still greenery. We'll see if we can get close enough to just underway move to Mount Arachnos. Because, you know, that would actually be pretty handy.
All hail colonels.
And you, I guess, can just, like, mess with these guys. Oh, right. You did stuff already this turn. Next turn, you can mess with these guys. Well, it looks like this unit of, this faction of Dark Elves is maybe not long for this world. Although, again, you have this thing where the AI loves to sack places that they should be occupying or burning, thus dramatically reducing their overall strategic effectiveness. So who knows? Maybe they'll move so slowly that the Dark Elves will have plenty of time to replace all their losses. In fact, almost certainly, they will move so slowly that the Dark Elves have time to replace all their losses. I do love that big squig mount. Unfortunately, that guy moves so far, we might not be able to catch him with our agent. What is your deal? You want peace? Sure. I'm gonna level with you. Don't even know who you guys are. We've never met. We've never seen each other's stuff. Alright, go get him, you big incompetent fool.
The forest is whispering.
Alright, let's build ourselves some reputation. So it looks like Tlaqua got confederated. Maybe we can get these guys to be nice to us. Trending downward. I'm just saying, what about military access? What about 170,000 gold worth of military access? Okay, that's high. So there is a value for which they will do this. Let's try 100. Moderate. I'm gonna try to shave a little bit off here. What about 60? 60's low again. You know what? I'll give them the 100 if that'll do it. Okay, but what about my offer though? Also military access, and let's say 120. Okay. If they make a counteroffer, it means they wouldn't have accepted your existing offer, so there was no sense in just giving them that back. Where are we at on the timer here? I guess we don't really want to leave yet. Alright, just keep making yourself a nuisance.
Stalking.
So it sure does look like the orcs in these mountains are in a lot of trouble.
The domain.
Where the hell even are their guys?
Onward!
Shouldn't they have some, in theory? Plus, we need, the other benefit of going after the orcs with this army is that we really do need some, money. And we certainly don't make very good money by just sitting around and waiting, right? So yeah, we'll go take a bunch of gold off of the orcs. We will ingratiate ourselves to the Empire and the dwarves in so doing, and then we will convince them to turn their backs on the border princes. I don't know exactly how likely that plan is to actually work, but I do know that it is a plan, as opposed to the thing we've been doing so far. So, you know, it has that going for it. Also, I've already lost track of how many turns we have left on the Ritual of Rebirth that we're currently doing. Look at this. You sailed all the way over here, you walked all the way through all those mountains, and now you're just going to get surrounded by all sides, or surrounded from all sides, and murdered. Was this worth it? Was this worth the trip? Was this worth all the effort you put into it? Wow. Aggressive play from Muga. You know, I guess it's nice to see the orcs doing, like, something. Anything at all. So it looks like there's a pretty small number of total factions remaining in the world. At this point, things have condensed considerably.
Searching out threat.
Alright, Dodan, keep being a problem. Just be a total annoyance. A hero that is specialized in block army and is really good at block army really, really prevents armies from moving in a way that's like incredibly frustrating to deal with. Don't worry, I'll get him. Maybe.
I cannot.
I didn't get him. Go back to worrying, I guess.
Swiftly.
Alright, so Orion's camp is going to be ready for its ritual in like 5-ish turns. What about the jungle over here? Yeah, okay. I guess we should keep... Or you know what? No, we're not going to keep the Tree Singer. The Tree Singer is going to go fight people. And we're just going to deep-root somebody else over here. Before it is time for that. Because I don't... What is the right way to approach here? It looks like if we just run up the road to the north, we can avoid taking too much desert attrition and still make it, like, through the pass, and then we can fight the orcs there. Although it looks like the orcs are getting pushed back pretty extensively here. I want to be useful, you know? I would like to be useful. This is one of the ones in the army. Okay. Yeah, 3 turns until we teleport Orion down there to actually do the ritual, I guess. There's not much point in having him up here. It is unfortunate that it's Otrolio doing this, though, because he is definitely the slowest army we have. Would it actually be faster? You know what? I bet it would. To have Otrolio just turn around and sit there, and then have the sisters come through and have them be our orc fighting force. Even though they won't actually be allowed to start moving for several turns, I think it still would be faster because they're so much better at their jobs. What? Did that last Defenders guy assassinated my unit instead of the one in the orc army that... Okay. Well, that's annoying. Why would you go after me instead of the army? The army that we are mutually at war with. Why did Belagar not crush those Dark Elves? Huh. Okay, interesting. I don't really understand why anybody did anything they did there. That seems like a very unsafe move for both of them.
To an audience, so don't waste
No, you're at war with the other dwarves. I definitely don't want a treaty with you. In fact, maybe we should have remained at war. Alright, well, Solus is going to have to take a little break. There are some Bray herds way over here. I mean, I guess we could kill them.
defenders of the glades.
Do we know exactly where they are?
Of Twilight,
Yeah, let's just go knock them out real fast.
they will
People love it when you kill beastmen.
spreading harmony. Harmony shall reign. Ariel grants clemency.
Okay, that was a little bit of money.
When do we fight? Only when necessary.
Alright, so we're going to keep being a problem. No matter how much our allies try to stop us. What exactly do I guess gather information in this direction?
Summer's champion.
Although it looks like there's not much going on. And honestly, I think we're just going to have you hang out around the Forest of Gloom. We want up-to-the-minute information on what is going on around this forest at all times. So 2 turns until we can actually move the sisters down here, and then we're going to have to be careful because we don't have movement with everybody. Or we don't have military access with everybody, but we should be able to do some real damage. It's also probably the case that the less pressured the Empire and the dwarves feel about the conflict with the orcs, the more they will feel open to, backstabbing and getting into other plots. So relieving a little bit of pressure in the southern conflict may have other nebulous, hard-to-predict benefits for us in the long term. That said, I may be overestimating the amount of time that the orcs have to live. Maybe there aren't going to be any orcs by the time I actually get involved here. Yeah, because the orcs are not even looking that much more powerful than I am at this point, right? Oh, dear. A minor rogue faction declares war on everyone. Can't see how that would go wrong for them.
Craving prey.
Alright, sisters, back to the glade.
Ariel's will.
I feel like our public order everywhere is always negative. And on top of that, our we are never anywhere near a rebellion. I don't know how that's happening.
Guardian.
You can turn off forced reaction notifications to classes of events, but you can't turn them off for specific events. So unfortunately, there is no way to tell the game, I don't want you to tell me hero not moved for some heroes, but I do want you to tell it to me for others. Yeah, I guess we're good. We're just waiting on even more money to accumulate before we try to buy the orcs or the dwarves off again. Otrolio is already back to full health. We have a lot of campaign, faction level casualty replenishment rate bonuses now. I believe one of the magic forests is giving us 12% or something, and now everybody heals like the sisters, and the sisters heal even more than that, somehow.
Should we kill them, sister? Stay your blade.
Definitionally, you might think that would be pretty tricky. And yet, here we are. So Reichland is still looking very powerful, also very green, happy face toward us. Okay, 52 trending towards 70. And yeah, Grimgore's hard boys are actually looking less powerful than we are now, so I think they're doomed. I think they're, like, short-term doomed, like, real soon.
You meet with the emissaries.
Absolutely not. I will not save you from anything. Don't even try it. I'm busy. Would it be better for us to just go in, like, to have the sisters teleport to... Oh, what are we doing? Oh, the Griffinwood's thing is complete. That's what. Okay, cool. And we have another point of amber, but I don't know that we need it, honestly. I guess plus replenishment in foreign territory is cool.
Yes.
And Orion got to sit there and watch that level up. Let's grab Nature's Quiver. Nature's Quiver is a good one. And I don't know what we're going to do with you, but I do know you lot are... We probably don't, even though it's going to be faster to move from the Forest of Gloom to Orkland, we probably don't want to do that because it'll piss off the dwarves. They'll get mad at us for trespassing on their allies' territory.
Haste is required.
Alright, movement is going to be a little slower than we would like. Where do I want the Tree Singer standing when this ritual begins? Because it's pretty soon. I guess... I have no idea. I have no idea which direction I think the hostile armies are going to spawn in. I guess just kind of middle-y. Dreicha, get red point. Dreicha, get red point. Also yelling. Dreicha, get yelling. Where do I think it makes sense for you to pay attention to? Honestly, I don't know that it matters too much.
Tracking.
So the dwarves are already over here in pretty significant numbers. Yeah, there very well may not be any orcs left by the time we get out there. And hopefully by the time we've fought a bunch of these orcs and curried some favor and stuff, our diplomatic reliability will have recovered to above medium. Medium's still good, though. Medium's definitely an improvement. There's an awful lot of back and forth nonsense going on in this jungle. You know, I forgot that we had all this territory over here. I guess we have a contiguous strip of territory up to that port, despite the fact that that port, for some reason, does not function as a port. Okay, that's interesting. Why is that happening? Those armies aren't even close enough together to actually fight. Yeah, we should show up. I don't need to lose any more diplomatic reliability.
Order is all.
Alright, so the sisters need to... Oh, actually, I guess I didn't realize that the Bretonnians had an army all the way down here. Huh.
I seek prey.
That's a weird thing for them to have done. I guess they don't have a lot going on anywhere else in the world right now. I'm going to try to get this hero down to the area that we're hoping to send our army into. Okay.
I will slay them.
Well, this is unlikely to work, but, you know, trying it is still worth reputation. Oh, what am I doing? You still have relevant blue line stuff left. In fact, yeah, specialist, for sure. Volnal apparently has a skill point, you know, from all that standing around he's been doing. So the pools will flip in 9 turns, which is not too long after we finish the Ritual of Rebirth over here. Everything's really lining up except for that last forest. And sadly, we are at the part of the game where we spend 80% of our time not playing the game. At the beginning, when everybody has, like, one army and you have very limited vision and stuff, any individual AI player's turn just, like, zooms by in a fraction of a second. At this point, even though there are so many fewer factions, each turn is, like, several orders of magnitude longer than that, and so we spend a lot of time watching stuff sail around. And unfortunately, a lot of it's not even doing anything. These exiles from the Heck agents have just been running back and forth for thousands of years, not accomplishing anything at any point. And the second we could get anybody to break their military alliance with the border princes, we probably just, like, drop everything else we're doing, deep root over to that forest, and show them what for. I wonder who starts in control of that. I mean, it can't be the border princes, right? Okay, that's enough notifications from you. From this one, we actually get some stuff we care about. So we have just 2 enemies mustering, is that it? This army is definitely a lot weaker than our other armies, in no small part due to the lack of a legendary lord. So I was going to say we might actually find ourselves compelled to fight manually here, but apparently not. Apparently we're okay on that one. Okay. This thing's already deep orange, so my suspicion is we're going to have to fight a real army coming out of that real soon. At least Otrolio's actually getting to do stuff now. I feel like there was a long time there where he was only sort of part of the game. I really want to avoid all this desert travel. Is there a way to get... Huh. Here, we'll cross the river over here. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Moving with grace.
Yeah, there we go. Then we'll travel along this tree line. Okay, as always, you have nothing to do. You just gotta keep annoying orcs. So let's see how, Oh wow, that actually worked. I'm kind of shocked by that. Let's see how this has added up in terms of our reputation. Actually, sorry, let's finish moving everybody first. Then we will see how things have added up in terms of our reputation. You can go this way and hopefully end up over there near the enemies. Tala the Glade Captain can... Jeez. Armor? I don't know, man. How does so many people have so many unspent skill points? Okay, we do want to move Orion's army. Like, this is obviously a useless place for them to be. Do I also bring them down here to help contribute to Orc fight? Man, it's a long run from where we're at to Orcs. It actually might be better. I'm just going to have him sprint. We're not going to use the deep roots.
Have my blessing, God King of the Deep.
It might be better for us to just go through the mountain pass, underway past the eastern part of the mountain, and do it that way. Varcio just gained a skill point, I guess. Do this. Sitting around all day is worth a tremendous amount of experience, it turns out. Okay, so, dwarves, how are you feeling about me now? Okay, better, not amazing. 10 points of reputation from our hero actions against the hard boys. 9 points from us messing with Headgrave.
All here are honored dwarfkin.
Let's try... No, we don't want to push for a defensive alliance. We want the military alliance. Is there any way at all that this could happen? I don't know what the conversion of gold to reputation points is. Like, for each 1 point of reputation, in theory, you probably cut X gold off of the amount that is required to pay them into a deal. But I have no sense of what that might be. You know what? Maybe we're not headed this way. Maybe we want to just continue north along these rivers and end up in these mountains up here. Tough to say.
Spit it out, then.
I guess a lot of it depends on how quickly the northern armies move. Because we could totally end up with a situation, especially with these Bretonnians down here, just like the very, very huge number of troops that are down here from all these different factions. We could certainly end up in a situation where we reroute toward those middle mountains, and right as we get there, all of the orc stuff falls. We ended up just wasting our time. And successfully, like, participating in a war on behalf of your allies can produce a ton of reputation. It is maybe one of the most efficient sources of reputation. I'm really bummed out that the dwarves remembered that they also have access to underway movement, so they skipped past those mountains, because that was going to be my thing. The Empire certainly couldn't have got over there quickly, neither could the Bretonnians. And I am not happy about how many Border Prince's armies there are around here. Alright, yes, an invasion is imminent. Can we even get there? We can. This might be a thing where we have to run away. Actually, this is, like, pretty dangerous. Full marching all that distance, and then, like, if it turns out that's not a fight we can easily win, we're just trapped out there without enough movement to escape and in attrition. Let's maybe play this a little safer. We know this'll work. And yeah, I don't necessarily have a lot of faith that this stuff will still be around in 2 turns, so let's go this way.
Onward, together. I have better things to do.
But
The sisters must.
do what I told you. I don't know why they do that sometimes, where they just, like,
I say no.
they get hung up on an army because they couldn't see it before. They're trying to route, I guess, like, exactly through the center of the space it's occupying, but that's a thing that should get fixed.
To serve Ariel.
Alright, so Orion... There's a little bit of orc stuff over here. I mean, we don't know what this area looks like. It could be very orc-full. I think let's go this way. We do have snow and mountain attrition immunity, I believe. So this should be a pretty quick run.
Protector of the forest.
Most factions would have to try to be at least a little bit careful. We can't interact with Mount Gunbad because it's surrounded by friendly armies, so...
Hunting.
Woodland Warden.
It is really tough to maintain dwarf reputation. I wish they didn't hate Elithanar so much. It's complicating things very badly for us. But I do not think we can afford to take any more hits to our diplomatic reliability. We are in a place where we actually care a lot about what people think about us. So if there really is only one other... Oh, wow. The Exiles of Nahak concluded that war pretty quickly. If we're actually in a place where there's only going to be one more army coming for for Orient's camp, then we could start marching the Tree Singer through the mountains as well. Hopefully fan out, just do as much damage to these orcs as possible. The number one most important thing is that we just kill a lot of them. I think the amount of reputation you get is based more on the amount of units that you kill, the amount of kills you get in battle, than like the number of battles won. It is better to win a big battle than 2 small battles, I'm pretty sure, so... I want to get out there while they still have some functional armies. Alright, the orcs and goblins have done a terrible job with their wog, which is not a big surprise. Wow. Rogue idols, just rogue idols and giants. Only massive, massive units. It's like an army of kaiju. Huh. Do you think this is actually empty? Oh, probably. Tic-Tac-Toe probably just burned it down. I was going to say, there is a Skaven clan that spawns in this area. I don't remember exactly where, but... Alright, I guess you're just messing with the orcs at this point. There's not really any useful stuff for you to do, probably. I was going to have him run down and meet up with the sisters and try to provide intel for them, but...
Orders.
It's looking like the orcs have been pushed back so thoroughly, pretty much everywhere, that there's not a lot of information to give.
Going forth.
Reporting.
You're just keeping an eye on all of that. Alright, let's run a couple more turns here. Sadly, we have all of this stuff. The whole world has to constantly react, and all we really want to do is move 2 armies every turn. I do appreciate that the Deep-Root system means that the instant it is a good idea to attack the Wood of Gloom, we'll be on it. The very turn that it becomes even the slightest bit acceptable, we will have 20 units bearing down on its undefended border. We might be too late on that thing I was just saying about winning battles against armies, because now Grimgor's, the yellow in the bar with Grimgor's Ardboys is such that I suspect they only have like 1, maybe 2 armies left. Wow, that's some very effective raiding. They're raiding 1,200 gold per turn out of that settlement. No, you're good.
The Sisters of Twilight.
Okay, here we get to do something. Hooray, let us go forth and murder! The only thing we're even kind of good at. Why does this have no garrison?
I'll go when I'm ready.
That's weird, right? That's a strange thing. I like to imagine Dodan's just charging at the walls of this, of Karak-Azul and just bashing his little branches against them. The orcs on defense don't even know what to do about it. They're like, I mean, it's not a threat, right? We don't have to care about this, so I guess we don't.
Away I go.
What's that crazy tree doing?
Guarding. Swiftly. Way stalker.
Yeah, wow, there are so many armies over in this area. This is really, really bad news for these orcs. Alright, we finally finished construction of the Oak of Ages. Hooray!
Highborn reporting.
I'm very curious what's going to happen when the Orc War is over. Because then we'll just have a bunch of highly advanced, very, very strong AI all pressed right up against each other, right? There's so much shared border between the remaining strong factions. All of them treacherous, all of them aggressive. We just need the right bloodbath to start. We need the right Franz Ferdinand to occur. Hopefully it won't be everybody ganging up on me. I'm realizing now that I am also a person who has a lot of shared borders with them, and I'm considerably weaker than they are, and they'll be looking to gain territory. Yeah, you know, it totally could be me. It is feasible that it could... Yeah, that's a problem. That is potentially a problem. It's so weird that the Orcs did so well for so long. I mean, they've taken over all of this stuff that definitely isn't theirs to begin with. And then, for some reason, at the beginning of this war, it's just like they don't have any idea how the game rules work or something. Not just failure, but like profound, embarrassing failure. Did those Orcs really not attack? I mean, I guess that's fine. If they don't want to attack, we can just sit here for 4 turns. It doesn't really harm us.
Duty, adventure.
You cannot make it to Lamia. And it looks like the stuff down here is not controlled by the Orcs, so I guess you go for Lamia.
Looking for
That's a shame. Here's those gemstones. Yeah, I guess just get, like, up here. We can easily turn around and hit Lamia if it's not taken out, and if somebody else does take it out, we can go to the Misty Mountains. I mean, there's no way Tic-Tac-Toe can reach it either. You just keep being an asshole. It is what these tree spirits excel at.
Forest.
Alright, where do we think there might be more Orcs? I mean, I guess pretty much anywhere east of here.
Going.
Unless, is this the hard edge of the map? No, okay, there's... Oh yeah, it's all untraversable forest. Okay, so in this area you can't go any further east. That's weird. Why is the map not a square? Or a rectangle? Well, okay then. I guess the Orcs are in even worse trouble than I thought. I thought they had access to a lot more land than it turns out they do.
Going forth.
Solace is never going to get to a place that's going to matter. Alright, let's do one more round of enemy turns, and then we'll take a quick look at how people are feeling about us, if we might be able to manipulate our diplomatic situation at all. And we'll call it there for the day. And maybe that Savage Orc army will actually attack Orion's camp, or maybe they'll just sit there and raid me. If they want to steal like 6,000 gold, I'm inclined to just let them. Let the Giants and the Rogue Idols split 6,000 gold between the lot of them. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I guess that's approximately how much it would take to buy them all pizza. I'm not opposed to a pizza party. I'm not putting my foot down here and saying nobody but me is allowed to have pizza parties. What kind of tyrant would I be? Every single time Karaza Karak's turn comes around, I find myself hoping for a notification. You know, just some war declarations, anything really. We could probably get away with taking and keeping some of this stuff, like if we wanted to keep Lamia for the diamonds, the gemstones rather. I mean, gemstones don't have a lot of value for us. We know they won't actually produce much money. Yeah, those guys are just going to sit there and raid. Okay, fine by me. And negative growth in Hotek's column, which almost could not matter less. Okay, so 66 trending towards 72 with the dwarves. Does not put an alliance on the table. It's honestly not that impressive of a number. But you know what is an impressive number is 198,000. Still low. What about you break your military alliance with the Border Princes in exchange for $198,000, huh? How about some of this? Hey, what a surprise. Yeah, we're gonna have to get much higher reputation with them before this is gonna work. What about the Reichlanders? The Reichlanders don't like me much more, sadly. So that military alliance I suggest is probably also not available to us. Although again, if we could get it, I would absolutely take it. Oh, I double-clicked through. Okay, well, did I just join their war? Yeah, I sure did. They paid me for it. I mean, these guys are at war with the dwarves. It's fine. I didn't give them a non-aggression pact, did I?
Only when necessary.
No, I don't think so. So we probably didn't damage our stuff there. And then, you know, we can just have the Tree Singer go and... Well, I was going to say we can have the Tree Singer go and mess with them. Maybe there's not really that much of them left. Okay, we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's another common enemy. So, actually, it's good that we did that. Although, obviously, it would have been better to do it on purpose. Alright, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I still really don't have any idea how we're going to solve the Forest of Gloom problem, and we're rapidly getting to a place where it's our only problem remaining. So, I better figure something out. When you come back next time tomorrow, I'm sure I will have. I mean, how could it go any other way? And we'll see you then.